How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now on today's show, we're going to take a look back at the midweek games in the Premier League. There were wins for Arsenal, wins for Manchester United, and another defeat for Liverpool.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So, like I said, we are moving to the business end of the season, and there's some midweek matches in the Premier League, some interesting results. And there is another game tonight that I will have my eye on, shall we say. But let's look at the games that are done and dusted. Of course, there was Arsenal on Tuesday night. Very, very comfortable 5-0 win against Chelsea. And I've said all I need to say on that. Now, I'm going to go into last night's games, and there were some very interesting results, to say the least. Wolves against Bournemouth, first of all. Now, Bournemouth won this game 1-0. But again, we're going to have a little conversation about VAR, because Wolves equalised and it looked like an absolutely genuine goal. I don't know what on earth I was trying to look at. And I was thinking, is there an offside in the build-up? What have I not seen? I couldn't work it out. And then I realised that they've actually penalised a foul in the build-up. And there's no foul. Like, there's nothing there. It's... what on earth is that? And again, we're sitting here having this conversation about VAR and inconsistencies and just inept and incompetent officials not able to do their job. I genuinely think that they're at this point now where they just don't know what to do anymore. They're making the most random decisions. They're under so much pressure and they just can't handle it. And it's there for all to see. Anybody with a pair of eyes could see that's not a foul. It's, should be a goal to Wolves. Scandalous decision. But listen, Bournemouth go and win the game, and that's a big 3 points for them. Crystal Palace against Newcastle. 2-0 win for Crystal Palace, and that has dented Newcastle's European ambitions, shall we say. And that's not a great result for them. Mateta scoring both of the goals for Crystal Palace. And yeah, listen, it's a very comfortable 2-0 win for them. Manchester United against Sheffield United. And Man United won this game 4-2. But that doesn't really tell the tale of the game because, Manchester United underperforming again and not looking great. They went 1-0 down. It was brought back to 1-1. Harry Maguire equalises. Then they go 2-1 down. And they actually, had to wait until the 81st minute to get the third goal. And then Højlund wrapped it up and, made the score look a little bit better than what it was. But, Manchester United, they're just... I don't know what to say any more than what I've already said. I just think they're a very, 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 very poor team. And Erik ten Hag, for me, is just not a good manager. If he stays on at Manchester United next season, I'll be absolutely buzzing because that's one less team to worry about. But I just don't see how he does, stay past this season. I just don't see it. Interesting one anyway. The big game of the night was the Merseyside derby, and Liverpool's title run is done. It's over. 2-0 to Everton. And I know some people could sit there and say that, well, maybe there's an outside chance and that it's done, okay? Liverpool don't need to rely on one team to drop points. They need to rely on two teams. They need Arsenal to drop points in 2 of their last 4 games. And they need Man City, I think it's to drop points in 3 of their last 6 games. Because of the superior goal difference, even if Arsenal lost the game, then Liverpool would still be on points with them if they won their retrospective game. But they would be behind on goal difference. So And listen, we're talking about other teams losing so that Liverpool can, creep in. Do you really think that Liverpool are going to win their remaining games with the way that they're playing at the moment? That was an utterly toothless performance from Liverpool for a Merseyside derby. When I watched them against Fulham at the weekend, I thought, okay, they look okay. They look like they've got over the disappointment of the Europa League and everything. Yeah, they're in it for the running. And then they just go back to this, and it was just dreadful. The misses that they, had as well. Darwin Núñez in particular, really, really poor striker. They're not going to be winning anything with Darwin Núñez as their main striker. Mo Salah doesn't look the same anymore. Yeah, they're just really, really poor. And Everton, they fully deserve the win. And yeah, they were the better side. And I was really impressed by them. I thought they played really, really well. So, in terms of what that does to the Premier League table, of course, Arsenal are top. And they are 3 points clear of Liverpool on the same amount of games. They are 4 points clear of Manchester City, but Man City do have 2 games in hand. And all we can do is do our job and then see what happens. And like I said, Man City are away to Brighton tonight. And anything but a win puts the title in Arsenal's hands. So that's the thing. And that's what's key here is that Man City don't need to lose a game. They just need to draw a game. I know it's easier said than done, but we've done what we can, which is put the pressure on them, put the points on the board and say, right, over to you guys. Let's see what happens. Aston Villa 4th, Spurs in 5th. They do have 2 games in hand on Aston Villa, and they're 6 points behind. So a similar situation with the Arsenal-Man City one in many respects. Villa have played the games, got the points on the board, and they're basically handing it over to Spurs and saying, go on then, off you go. Manchester United go into the top 6. When you think how poor Man United have been this season and they're in the top 6, that shows the levels of how far everything has dropped, below the top 3. Man United have lost 12 games this season and they're sitting 6th. Staggering. Newcastle in 7th, and they've lost 13 games. Absolutely mad, isn't it? Yeah, that's mad. I don't think Manchester United are going to be catching up with 5th place. I think it's pretty much, between them and Newcastle as to who finishes 6th, to be honest. Bournemouth very comfortable in 10th place. They've had a fantastic season when you look at that. Very, very good. Only 2 points behind Chelsea, but they have played a couple of games more. Brighton on 44 points. So, listen, they got a couple of games in hand, one of them being tonight. They might have aspirations to get in one of those European places as well. So it's a big game for them. Crystal Palace, they're well away from, the relegation. They're safe and everything else. So that's good for them. And at the bottom, that is very, very interesting. Sheffield United, it's basically done. I think it's just one more game where it has to be mathematically sorted out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Burnley on 23 points, Luton on 25 and Nottingham Forest on 26. So, 2 of those 3 are going down. Everton, for me, are safe now. 33 points there. Well away from it. 8 points. So, fantastic for them when you think of the points deduction and everything else as well. So, it's going to be interesting. There's teams with a lot to play for. Nottingham Forest against Man City at the weekend as well. They've got to get points. A draw, please, maybe. I don't know. We're just praying for something. But listen, some very interesting games, some interesting results, and it has, both ends of the table. So, really good. But we'll see what happens in that Man City game tonight, and then we'll have a look forward to the games over the course of the weekend. Looking at the weekend, actually, let me just briefly run through the games. to see what there actually is. West Ham are playing Liverpool, so Liverpool away at West Ham. 12:30 kickoff, Jurgen Klopp's favourite time. Yeah, that's not a foregone conclusion, is it? Wolves against Luton. Luton need the points. Playing Wolves, who are safe, and that might be a good time to play them. You never know. Fulham, Crystal Palace, really a nothing game. Newcastle, Sheffield United again. Not really anything in that. Maybe just the confirmation of Sheffield United going down, and Newcastle need to win because of the European places. Manchester United against Burnley. Interesting game. Both teams have got something to play for. Everton, Brentford. Yeah, I think that another win for Everton will just all but confirm everything. Aston Villa against Chelsea. Interesting game. Chelsea, how do they respond? And Aston Villa, they need to keep up their winning run and, you know, do what they're doing. Bournemouth against Brighton. Tottenham against Arsenal. That's the big game of the weekend, isn't it? And then Nottingham Forest, Man City. So, yeah, look, listen. That is it for DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.